Your number one hype gal here, and welcome to the weekly warm-up, your weekly dose to feel a little more confident and a lot more human. I'm Jess Rose McDowell, and each week I'll share life updates, mindset shifts, product faves, the little things that help me stay grounded, energized, and moving and grooving. Whether you're heading out for a jog, sipping your morning coffee, or just need a midweek pick-me-up, this is your warm-up for living a real balanced life. So take a breath, shake it out, and let's dive in. All right, y'all, let's just address the elephant in the room before we start. Yes, my skin is extra lubricated right now. I have been doing a peel, story of my life, and my skin is falling off as we speak. I need to keep it lubricated. I have a steroid cream on, and yes, my lips are still healing. I got them done a week ago tomorrow. This is my second time getting them done. I'm absolutely obsessed. I love it. I didn't have to use a full syringe because they held up so well from almost a year ago. A year ago in December, I got my lips done for my first time ever. And yes, I got them done by my girl Jenny, who works at Elite Styles. Plug. I had her on the pod talking all things injections, all things wellness and biohacking. It's amazing. But yes, I got them done. They are looking luscious and beautiful, and I am very happy about that. From my lips to yours, welcome back to the Weekly Warm Up Podcast. Do I need to keep saying that? The Weekly Warm Up Podcast. Welcome back to the Weekly Warm Up. That's what we'll say. We don't need to say podcast. Obviously, it's a podcast. From my lips to yours, welcome back to the Weekly Warm Up. Let's dive in. I figured we'd just start off strong talking about tacos. That is a really good place actually here in Miami, talking tacos. Oh, mess me up. But no, I figured let's just start off strong. Let me educate y'all. Let's get into the nitty gritty. And then from there, we'll kind of go into some fun stuff that's recently happened to me and why I can only go out once every 12 months. If you are human, then you have 100% been on a metabolic roller coaster before. I don't care if you are the most healthiest person in the world or the least healthiest. The least healthiest. Scissor sauce. Does anyone care about scissor sauce? Or the least healthiest person, we all go on it. And when we don't all go on it, we all go on the ride. Yes, we go up there, we put our ticket in, we punch our tab, and we go on that metabolic roller coaster. Yikes. What a way to start. But anyways, it's where typically in the morning we have this high energy, and then afternoon we might crash, and then that's when most people will reach for that 2 p.m. coffee or some sort of sugar snack to get them back up so that way they can get the rest of the day going. Everyone has different time during the day that they are wired. For me, I am wired in the morning. I have the best mental output in the morning, especially when I work out, a lot of oxygen to the brain. My body has a ton of energy stored from the night before. So we are just moving and grooving. But I will say that 3 p.m. for me is rough. I will crash and crash hard. You're then trying to survive. We sometimes will categorize this as bad habits or that we are weak or that we don't have willpower, but that's actually not the case. It's more about your biochemistry. So for instance, sugar, cortisol, and stress. What I want to explain is just a really easy step-by-step process on how you can rewire your metabolic roller coaster, AKA your biochemistry. That way you don't crash and you don't go to sugars and caffeine and food that isn't going to help fuel your body, but it's only making you eventually gain more weight, crash even harder, and then you don't sleep well, and then it becomes this consistent down or decline. Let's break it down like this. So you eat sugar, let's say maybe a muffin, or if you have a smoothie, but it's packed with more sugar than you even intended that it would have, or you'll have like a healthy protein bar or granola bar. And we can dive into that another time because I'm not a big fan of either, but sometimes it gets the job done. I get it. You had that sugary snack and now your blood glucose spikes. It's starting to really just pump up, your heart rate's starting to go, your blood pressure is starting to raise, your body is somewhat panicking, if you want to call it that, and it's releasing insulin to clear out that, let's say, waste. So suddenly you're shaky, you have that brain fog. It's almost like you can't focus, you're starting to get hungry again, and your body's not normal. You're all out of whack. So this is why then you go back for more snacks and you're trying to fulfill this hole. So this is basically where your cortisol just starts to spike, and that is a stress hormone. So now you have your body just overcorrecting this insulin. Your cortisol is through the roof. Your body is just going into fight or flight mode. Cortisol wants to stabilize what's going on, which means it's going to tell your liver to release glucose. In emergency situations, that's fine. It's not the end of the world. But if you're doing this every day consistently, that is when you're going to run into a lot of issues. So what happens is your cortisol levels, they stay high, and your energy, your mood, and your lovely skinty waistline, it starts to take a toll. And we don't want that, because we are all thriving, snatched, healthy, wealthy girls and gals and boys. And trust me, I am guilty of this. And more often than some would think, I find that it's not the main meals that can be an issue, but it's the snacking that really messes up. At least for me, I mess up on, where I can have a great breakfast or a great lunch. If I don't prepare proper snacks, then it's all downhill from there. And basically, the meals that you're intaking, that you're trying to stay healthy, or if you're trying to hit a certain macro level, if you're trying to hit your macros, or if there is a goal that you are trying to achieve with your eating, it's completely wasted after that. So now you're basically being counterintuitive. Your cortisol raises your blood sugar. Okay, again, your cortisol raises your blood sugar, and high sugar raises cortisol. So again, your cortisol raises your blood sugar, and high sugar raises cortisol. So now what's happening is your body is literally just bouncing back and forth from these receptors. Let's just call it like that. Cortisol is raising your blood sugar, but then the high sugar is starting to raise your cortisol. So your body's not able to then level out, which is why you are more often stressed, which is why you are moody or tired, or you are sleeping, let's say, 8 or 9 hours a night, but you still can't function, or you feel like you can't gain this energy, or you're not feeling motivated or stimulated. Well, that's because you're literally, again, playing ping pong with your cortisol and your blood sugar. So then it's the trickle down effect, where you're stressed and you're tired. So naturally, you're going to go for sugar. You're going to crave unhealthy items instead of going towards maybe a high protein snack or a high protein meal, or even having healthy fats. Or sometimes carbs are great, because not all carbs are bad, and we've been taught that, but that's not what we're talking about, and I don't want to confuse anyone. Anyways, your sugar spikes your energy, then crashes you back into stress. Now, this is an important part. This is all important. I hope you're still with me. You should be. Thank you for being here. Okay. Unfortunately, we live in a world where it is really easy to have things FDA approved. It is really easy just to slap a label on a package and it say, non-GMO, zero sugar, no artificial flavoring. Just because it says low fat or no sugar doesn't mean there's not sugar in it in another form. And that is why we always stress on saying, read the ingredients, because that is where everything that you need to know is. Another thing, and I understand there are a lot of you that fast, and you fast at different times of the day. Also, I know I'm a type of person where I like to work out fasted a lot of times, and then have a protein meal or snack after I work out. I'm not telling everybody that you need to eat breakfast. Really helps to set the tone for the day when it comes to your blood sugar and your insulin and your cortisol levels. But that being said, if you choose not to have breakfast, there are still ways that you can not spike that or you can maintain throughout the day. Again, I never tell people in situations like this what they should and shouldn't do, because everybody is different and we are all achieving different goals and our bodies are different. And the thing that we also don't think about is that it's not just what we're intaking that's going to add to this cortisol and to this horrible spike where you have stress and you have mood swings and fatigue, but think about just your everyday life as well. Your emails, your text messages, the traffic that you go into, your workload, your family, your personal, your life, whatever it may be. So that's adding on top of it. So not only are you now internally, biologically spiking your cortisol and your insulin levels, and your body's not being able to properly function, but then on top of that, you're just your life and your exterior controllable slash uncontrollable situations, even adding into it. I'm pretty sure I just stressed everybody out by talking about this, but here are the solutions. And again, going back to what I said, you do not need to fear carbs or to go low carb. That is not it at all. Like I say, I always talk about living real balanced. Balanced is key. Living balanced is where you're going to have the most success and the best performance and the best output, make you just live a healthier and happier life. So you want protein and fat in every meal. The reason why is because it slows sugar absorption. So we've got our protein, we've got our fat, and now you want fiber. But the key is try to stay away from powdered fiber. You want to have real food fiber because that is what our body is used to. So think of when I talk about protein synthesis a lot. So when you're intaking real fiber, it is actually breaking down and giving you those nutrients in your body, where if you're using a powdery fiber, a lot of the times that's just going into our body as a liquid and it's just going straight through us. There's no benefits to it. So think of protein, fat, and real food fiber. I actually mentioned this in last week's episode, and I talked about, because I was kind of going on the VO2 max situation, and then I mentioned how there was like a fun fact where if you're starting to feel really fatigued, tired, you're yawning a lot, you're having that midday slump, or even in the morning. There's sometimes in the morning where I'm going, again, this is the cortisol spike. You're going and then you get a little crash. You might not need food. You might need just to get up and move your body. And I was talking about doing 20 jumping jacks or going and, just not running a full blown run, but going and just jumping around or running around for a couple minutes. And what it's happening is your blood oxygen to your brain is starting to move and pump, and you'll stop yawning and you'll start to get more energy back and you'll become more awake, because sitting around, whatever you're doing, whether you work from home, whether you work in an office, whether you don't work at all, there are times throughout the day where you are just being sedentary. And when you start to move around, you'll notice a tremendous difference in your energy levels. So not all the time is it food, especially if you did fuel your body properly. Don't always think food, because again, when I say you move around, you'll realize and you'll notice that you're actually not that hungry. Now, this is another fun fact for today's episode, and that is if you're moving and grooving, I would say even 10 minutes. And again, 10 minutes of just moderate light movement is not going to make you sweat coming from a sweater after you eat. So this is the fun fact. So after you have a meal, moderate light movement for about 10 minutes, your muscles are going to soak up the glucose, which we want, because that's how we're going to maintain our energy and we're going to stay alive and well, because that is I just did the thumbs up if you're not watching, but alive and well. This is probably the area that I'm the worst at when it comes to it. And stress management for me is difficult just because I can't slow down. And we're working on that. We're working on all these things. Again, I'm here talking to y'all and giving y'all advice because I'm the expert. That's ew. That was so narcissistic sounding. I'm the educator, but I'm also talking to myself in the mirror, because there are a lot of these things, actually all of them, that I'm still working on, but we can do it together. And that makes me feel less alone. And I'm sure likewise for you. But yes, so you want to maintain your stress by, breath work, meditating, stretch, getting outdoor activities in. One thing I have to say is going outside and just taking a breath, putting your face up into the sun or the light or the wind or whatever it is, getting fresh air is truly therapeutic. Not only does this help with just your stress levels, but I mean, mental health. Being outside is so important. And especially in our world today where we're just constantly going. And a lot of the times when we're going, we're inside somewhere, we're stuck, we're not focused on what is outside or around us. So, really making sure that you get that fresh air, it's a game changer. Because when you are signaling in your brain with your neurotransmitters that you are calm, that you are present, that you are breathing, that you are okay, that right there is going to signal everything else in your body to run proficiently. Your cortisol level, again, your insulin levels, which goes into, like I said, your blood sugar. And then that's going to help even too with your heart rate. We really want to make sure maintaining. You'll notice that when you're really stressed out, your heart's going, your body's pumping. Sometimes you're actually getting hot. You might be sweating a lot. That's your nervous system telling you, I need help. So here's the consistency that we want to work on. I'm going to break it down one more time. We want to have protein and fat in every meal, as well as real food fiber. Every meal, including snacks. It is easy to find protein and fat and real fiber that if you're balling on a budget that is not super expensive. And maybe what I'll do is do a video or a reel on all the food types that you could get, Googling it, going on Pinterest. There's so many resources that you can find where it will tell you the right fats and proteins and fiber to eat. From there, moving and grooving our body, especially when it comes to moving throughout the day. It's not about getting that one workout in, it's about maintaining movement. That is going to help reduce your stress levels and keep, like I said, that blood oxygen flowing to the brain. And then from there, stress management, which would be breathing, being present, getting fresh air, walking, stretching, something that you can do that is getting you away from the hustle and bustle. That also has to do with being overstimulated on screens and overstimulated with social media and stressing out about comparison trap or stressing out about whatever it is that you doom scroll on. So making sure that you are maintaining that stress management. And then again, just having consistency. Your sleep is super important. Try to get that 8 hours, 7 to 9 hours is ideal. The 8 hours obviously is the marker, but also too, there are a lot of people that can have amazing sleep within 6 or 7 hours and have high REM sleep and be the most productive. For me, sometimes if I'm sleeping more than 8 hours, I will start to feel a little groggy, oversleeping. I tend to feel more, how do I say it? I actually am more tired. Duh, that's what I'm talking about. So, knowing your sweet spot is super important. So, if you think about it, those 4 or 5 habit changes in your life, that's not a lot. That's not difficult at all. That's super, super doable. And I think truly the main issue would be the eating and then obviously the stress management. But these are things that you can make changes to right away. And immediately you will start seeing differences within a few days, within a week. It's not something that takes months and months. You'll start to notice such a difference. You'll see your gut health change, which then really helps with your metabolism. You'll start to see that your health and your overall well-being is better. So, just food for thought. I just had to pause really quickly. My dog, so Welker, my dog, most of you know him. If you don't, Welker Riggins McDowell, shout out, AKC Red Lab, love of my life. He is 8 years old, but he acts like he is I'd say now he acts like he's about 5. I used to say, oh, he acts like he's 4, but now he acts about 5 or 6, but he's still nonstop. And I'm very blessed because between my mom and I, we have kept him so healthy and motivated and active and, you know, obviously routine checkups, but he basically lives part-time with my mom, part-time with me. Only because my schedule here in Miami is all over the place and I don't have as much freedom as she does. She lives the best life. But also, I have a big red lab. He's 80 pounds. He's massive. He's very active. And the last thing he wants to do is be in a Miami apartment while I'm busy all the time. And even when I am home, it's not like we're always outside doing things because there's restrictions. Yes, I have a private dog park at my building, which is amazing, but it's different, you know, and also I can't just always let him off leash when we go for a walk or let him just hang out in the backyard. He likes to hang out in my balcony and we actually put a really nice turf down. But okay, we're really going off script here. The reason why I stopped really quickly and I was looking at a text is because so my mom, he has him right now, or my mom, she has him, he has her. That's basically it. He has her right now. But we usually send him to the club, we call it, when she's not able, like when she wants to just give him, you know, time to do stuff on his own, or if she's busy someday, or even the fact of just socializing with other dogs and stuff. But the place that she takes him to in Vero is called Paw Prints, and it's absolutely amazing. They actually have like a pool club. That's why we call it the pool, because he never leaves it when he goes. And he, I guess, he steals all the tennis balls, which I think is hilarious. But we're going to be, when we go away, typically long term, you know, on vacation and things like that, we'll either leave him at Paw Prints. We do have family friends that I'm very, very blessed and thankful for, and my, you know, a couple of my best friends that take care of him. But when we go away for a couple weeks, it's just it's stressful on, you know, family friends and best friends and stuff to watch him, especially because he requires a lot. And you know, we love Paw Prints and we wanted to send him there, but there is a family that my mom met because for how many years now, when she walks down A1A and things like that, she always passes this couple that has, you know, a dog or two, and then they do foster dogs and stuff like that. And I guess the other day, long story short, they got into a conversation and now they're watching Welker when we go to Europe over Christmas. And I, I trust my mom. It's not that. But I was a little skeptical because I just thought it was funny that she's so protective of him more than me at times, and is so strict about his schedule and his regimen and all this stuff. And I mean, she questions sending him to other places, but then it's like, okay, you find a couple on the street and you give him to them, him to them. But no, it's great. So he is with them today as, you know, we're doing some test trials and stuff like that. And they have a beautiful backyard that's completely safe. And I guess they have the Furbo. So they give you access, I think, so you can check in. So my mom just sent me a picture of Welker and he's thriving. So that was a really long winded conversation that could have been explained in 10 seconds, but you know, dogs are children too. And until I have my real kids, well, not even that. The day I have children, Welker's still going to be number one. I really hope he's still alive just to at least meet one of them. But Welker will always be my first child, no matter what. And that's the way it's going to be. Okie dokie. Moving on. I saw on Instagram a really cool post that I wanted to talk about. And then, of course, I did my own notes of what I kind of wanted to dive into. There was a post I saw, and funny enough, I saw it twice. Neuroscience says motivation doesn't cause effort, effort causes motivation. The brain rewards action with dopamine that fuels more action. I figured this would be perfect for this episode, considering the topics that we just discussed. So, anyways, neuroscience says motivation doesn't cause effort, effort causes motivation. The brain rewards action with dopamine that fuels more action. So, then they said effort fuels dopamine, dopamine fuels drive, drive fuels growth. I love that. I resonated with it because I notice, for me personally, I go through waves of feeling really creative, feeling really motivated, my purpose, and I'm on track. Things are working out for me. And then there are times where it's the complete opposite. No matter what, if I'm putting out the effort and I'm showing up every day and I'm doing my best to be consistent, I'm not being complacent. I'm giving myself new things to look forward to all the time. I stay motivated because of the effort. And that is just a really great way of thinking about it, instead of thinking, oh, I'm not motivated, so I'm not going to have any effort. Oh, I'm not motivated to do this. I'm not motivated this week, so it's going to probably be a bad week. Think about it in the sense, just put a little effort in. If you put a little effort in, even if it means getting your butt up and doing that load of laundry, I'm talking something so small, you will feel that success. You will feel that instant gratification, and you'll stay motivated to want to continue to do all the other things, and then the bigger tasks and the ones that are more daunting, or the ones that challenge you, or the ones that force you to change, which then becomes a little uncomfortable because change is always going to be uncomfortable. And that's the whole point, because I love it. I love it. We're going to be motivated together because why? We're putting in the effort and we're doing the effort to stay motivated, not vice versa. The motivation doesn't come to make the effort. We are making the effort to stay motivated. And now I'm thinking like Nick Saban. And you should go back to episode 18 and listen, because it was great. I'm wondering why I'm burning up. I'm wearing a sweater and sweatpants. I have to put my air to like 67 degrees because I'm in front of my balcony window and I get natural light all day, which I love. I'm very blessed and thankful. Sunrise, sunset, over the water, humble brag. But I wonder why I'm getting hot. Well, maybe it's because even though it's October 27th and we are in the midst of fall, it is still summer in Miami. Squirrel. Unfortunately, our reality these days is that we're told that we need to feel ready before doing something. And that once we're ready, then we should get married. Once we're ready, we should go after that job. Once we're ready, we should take that next step in life. Once we're ready, I will start investing or saving money, whatever it may be. And that is that's a lie. That's the complete opposite. Because think about it. If you waited your entire life to be ready, you would just consistently be waiting to be ready. That's not a way to live. Now, I understand there are some circumstances where you need to wait, but that's not the point, is what I'm talking about, is that we are fueled to say, don't do this, don't challenge yourself until you're ready. For example, when it comes to exercise, once I feel good about myself, or once I feel I have energy, or once I feel comfortable, I'll go to the gym more. Or once my schedule slows down, then I can go. I'm too busy. I can't do it. I can't put my health first. Once that changes, I'll go. That's complete baloney. We're working on our cussing, guys. Start. Just start. Even when you don't feel like it, please, I beg of you, just start. There are so many things in life that I waited, I regret. I will admit, I regret. And when I just started, doors opened for me in so many different aspects of my life. So please just start. Don't wait until you're ready. When I was doing research on motivation and the effects, basically bouncing off of the Instagram post that I saw, how effort causes motivation. The one thing I really loved was that your brain doesn't give you motivation for free. You earn it through action. And that was just a really powerful line that I almost want to put on every mirror, every place in my house, and everywhere I look throughout the day, because that is so powerful and true, that your brain doesn't give you motivation for free. You earn it through action. Just like we discussed how your body will release insulin when you're having sugar, and then from there, that's creating stress, which then is spiking your cortisol. Same thing goes with dopamine. When you are starting a task and you are taking that first step or you're getting close to completing a task, when you're putting in effort consistently, your brain releases dopamine. And that is that signal to our brain and our body that we are happy, we are thriving. Dopamine is where we are on cloud nine. Let's call it that. It is our natural drug in our body for that high. Think about when we talk about runner's high, that's your body releasing dopamine. When we talk about falling in love, that's your body releasing dopamine. When we talk about achieving something, that is your body releasing dopamine. We get it, girlfriend. Like, chill the hell out. I know I really need to stop. That's one thing I will say that I'm really annoying with, besides a lot of other things, is the examples of me going down a list. We get it. You don't need to say, and blah, 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 or, and blah, blah, blah. We get it. We get it. Sorry. Okay. Anyway, your dopamine is released by your brain. Your brain is all that is there. In the easiest way possible to explain this, dopamine gets released by a part of your brain called the ventral tegmental area. From there, what happens is it talks to the nucleus accumbens, I always mess that up, which is rewarding. That's the rewarding part. And 9 times out of 10, dopamine is being released during a pursuit of some sort of goal or effort or action, not when you finish it. So when you're actually pursuing it, starting it, in process. I love that because it's just wild to think that our brain literally loves effort, that it thrives on effort. It thrives on you just trying. We are so backwards when it comes to our brain and how we feel like it is sometimes against us, or that it's too powerful for us, or we can't control our thoughts. We can't control what we do. Literally, our brain is saying, please try, because if you do, and that little effort, I will release dopamine and we can be happy together. Like, that was so, oh my gosh, wow. Should I be on a Disney movie? Oh my gosh, Pixar. I would love to be a voiceover in a Pixar movie. That would be honestly peak life, peak Jess, to have a voiceover in a Pixar movie. But right there, that's it. I hope they do another, what is the movie? I'm obsessed with it, with joy and anxiety, all the emotions. Hold on. Now I have to know. Hey Siri, what is the Disney movie with the characters that are emotions? Inside Out. That's it. Ooh, I should be on Inside Out. Next Inside Out movie, call me. So when I was thinking about an analogy to explain effort, I thought that this was really funny. When you say to yourself, I just need to get the motivation. I just need to be motivated. And I was thinking, okay, it's literally saying I just need to feel hydrated before I drink water. I just need to get hydrated and then I'll drink the water. When we talked about stress management in the previous segment, this goes hand in hand with motivation, which is a side effect of movement. So if you are moving, if you're doing some sort of movement and some sort of effort, you're going to have that motivation because your body's releasing the dopamine. At the same time, you're lowering your cortisol levels, you're stabilizing your blood sugar and your stress levels, and it all works together, which is the most basic form that you could talk about as far as the human body when it comes to these things, that we over calculate, that we overthink. It is all relative. All relative. So as we're putting in that effort, which is giving us motivation because our dopamine is being released and we are living happy and healthy and thriving, then you're maintaining that healthy habit. So you're keeping that momentum going and you're maintaining those dopamine levels. So your body now is fully functioning in its natural state that it should be. Mind blowing, right? It's crazy to think that it's been 19 weeks since I started my podcast. But one thing I really liked when I shared, or when I created, or whatever you want to call it, the one thing I loved about the first bit of episodes was that I always left some sort of homework. And I liked that because one, it keeps people engaged. Again, that motivation part. And if you give somebody homework or a task that they can achieve that is attainable, our bodies are, we're human, we want to do that. We love routine, we love a challenge, having a step by step process to do something and to see those results. And then also felt like it was a great way for people then to come back and listen more, because we would talk about it in future episodes, how we engage on my social media accounts. So I felt like this would be the perfect area to do a little homework opportunity. Pick one thing you've been putting off and just start there. Oh, wow. Girlfriend, really? Is that the homework? Or you're absolutely annoying. I'm going to punch you in the gut. I know. That sounds so basic and so annoying. I'm talking something in your life that by completing this task will make a significant difference in whatever it is that this task is trying to achieve or that you're wanting to achieve, because you're going to get your dopamine working, you're going to get your blood pumping, you're going to feel that sense of accomplishment, and you're going to be motivated because of the effects of showing up for yourself. And this is how you're going to hack your way into succeeding and not allowing yourself fail, because that's not an option. Just like in running or in exercise or the psychology of exercise in humans, we talk about putting in the effort for 10 minutes. So going for a run for 10 minutes. And if you want to stop, then stop. If you really don't like it and it's not working for you, stop. When you have the psychology of, human behavior and exercise, we talk about it's not the planning process. Once you showed up, it's not that. It's not about continuing to show up. It's that 6-week marker where things start to get a little tiring or you start to see plateau, external circumstances start to come in. That is when, people tend to stop. If you can promise yourself and if you can just show up for 5 to 10 minutes of whatever it is that you are going to put that effort towards, there is a less likely chance of you stopping and more likely of a chance that you will continue on, because your body is going to be releasing the dopamine because of effort, and you'll start to be happy and you'll be proud of yourself and you'll continue. For me personally, I notice, or my body, because I'm such a planner and I'm very type A, my motivation that I receive from effort, I like being able to check things off. That is rewarding for me. That is the dopamine of sending to my brain, I completed something, great job. Planning it out, however you want to do it, you want to think about how you can track your progress. From there, celebrate those small wins. When you're tracking your progress, when you're checking those small boxes, that continues to send signals to your brain that you're achieving something, and you're more likely to continue it the following day. You're more likely to continue it a couple weeks down the road, because you're going to get excited for that feeling that you get, and it's something to look forward to. Things that we're procrastinating, and maybe some of those mundane day-to-day things, or some of those things that require us to change or require a little challenge that makes us have to put the effort in a little bit. And so for us, we want to look at it like those small baby steps towards whatever your outcome is. That's going to keep you showing up and your body excited and looking forward to something. What do you know? Movement. Shocker. Shocker that is in another one. Again, a way for your body to release dopamine, because you're getting that blood oxygen to your brain. You're releasing your stress. So you're having more energy because you're not spiking your cortisol levels. You're not spiking your blood sugar because you're eating terribly and you're not sleeping well, and you're maintaining your stress, and you're getting movement in by going outside, by going for walks, by exercising, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. You're getting that physical movement in because your brain is rewarding itself by moving and grooving. We're getting our juices going. And it's okay to be messy. I think that we are polarized by having to do everything to a certain standard and to a level of perfection, and to showcase not how easy it was, but maybe how effortless it was, or that we won't always show the highs and lows. Maybe we'll talk about it here and there, but we're really we're really idolizing the idea that the lucky girl syndrome, or it just happened. There was the blood, sweat, and tears, and there is that messiness part to it. And there is that level of, I don't know what's going on sometimes, or what kind of effort should I be putting in, or is this good enough effort? Stop overthinking all of that. The point is, if you are staying organized in your thoughts with your effort and what it is that you want to achieve, you're going to figure out how to get there. Those peaks and valleys are there for a reason. If you don't have that, you're not human, and then it's not real. It's not a real task that you're really going after, or it's too simple task that's really making you get out of your comfort zone, and it's too easy. And so then you need to kind of start from square one and think about it. Don't let any messy part or any imperfection get in the way of your effort. That's where the motivation then starts to decline, is when you hit a roadblock, and then you start to feel self-conscious, you start to feel failure, you start to fear what people are going to think, and your motivation starts to go away. And it's not because your motivation is going away, it's your effort. So that's that. Long story short, and we are going to go in there and grab the bull by its horns. Yeehaw. This is the part of the episode where we go into products that I'm digging this week, and I'll segue into one of the stories I wanted to talk about. At the beginning of the episode, I mentioned about going 0 to 100, being a little social butterfly. So let's get started with the products I'm taking this week. This is a portable charger my mom gave me. I am absolutely obsessed with it. It will tell you the percentage of charge that is left on whatever device you're charging. It is sleek, which I love, and easy to travel with, whatever you want to call it. Oh, to turn it on and off. So there's a button right here to turn it on and off. I just took it out of the packaging. She gave it to me when I was home recently. Actually, that's not true. I saw that she had one and I absolutely loved it. And I asked if I could have one, and she gave me one, because this woman is always prepared. I love that the back has all your little cords that you need, because thanks to Apple, we have to have a cord family in order to charge all of our devices. You have our USB, our USB-C, our USB XY elemental P, and if you are broke, you have the old phone charger. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I'm joking. But I love that. Hold on. And then they snap back in. And then obviously you have your plugins right there if you need to do an external cord of some sort. It also comes in a nice little, I'm going to take the paper out, soft bag. I don't know what you call this, safe bag, protector bag that you can use it for, or put it in. Okie dokie. Since we're on phone gadgets and charging gadgets, or whatever you want to call it, tech gadgets, gadget right here that you can put your phone on, and it sits on a counter or wherever you want, and it's just really easy. It has the MagSafe on the back. I don't have a MagSafe case, but I just take my phone out of my case. I don't really mind. And it goes right here. I like it because I'm tall. When I put my phone on a surface, it doesn't always fit me, or the angle doesn't look right. This bad boy eliminates that. It's really easy. And then if you want to really fit in with the Geek Squad, you can fold it up, which is super sleek like that. I love it. I just put it in my bag. There is a little clip part right here. Put it onto your belt buckle and you're good to go, next to your phone holder. Now we got a skincare product. If you know me and if you follow me on social media, you know that I have been on a major Medicube kick. I just really like it, and I'm all about switching up my skincare. I recently got this Age R. It's a glutathione glow toner, and it has obviously glutathione, 6 types of peptide complex. I also learned that you want to put this on. I actually now am well, this is what I'm kind of explaining. So my girl Jenny, when she was doing a video, she was showing that she's putting her toner on just with her hands. And that is a good way for the toner to absorb, but then also help with your other skincare products to absorb. So I stopped using pad toner. Well, I do have pad toners, but mainly for brightening and other things. But I stopped using cotton squares or toner pads and just now use clean hands. And I've noticed a significant difference. It also eliminates waste of product. I didn't realize how much product I was wasting by putting it on a cotton square because it was just absorbing on its own. Love it. So yeah, this Age R glutathione glow toner, it's part of their Age R collection, if you want to call it. But I have this and I think one of their serums. Okay, to the star of the show, last but certainly not least, and we can go into the story, is this Celsius swag that I got when I was at the Celsius launch party for their new limited edition flavor Spritz Vibe. And let me tell you, look at this crew neck. I'm trying to hold my mic at the same time. Oh my gosh, I'm going to be wearing this 24/7. Also, I love that the sleeves, or no, this isn't the sleeve. I love how the sides, there are pockets. There are pockets with a little zipper. Yeah, the inside is just like you could snowboard in this. That's exactly what they made it for. I can tell now because the inside of the fabric, it's warm, but it's not that I don't know what I'm not, a fashion designer. The inside of this is thick. So this looks like you could definitely snowboard and ski and not get overheated in it, but super sick, super sick. And then from there is this bomber jacket or windbreaker, if you want to call it. I mean, how stinking cute with some biker shorts or leggings or something. Oh, and then just having this at the top and maybe even zipping this down a little bit and having a turtleneck. Ooh, child. Again, you could definitely snowboard or ski in this because the thing about it is when you are snowboarding and skiing, one, you get super hot. Like I am sweating like crazy, but also two, when you're in the right type of weather in the mountains, it's actually not that cold. It's a really good, decent temperature. Now, obviously, if there's a wind chill or if it's actually a snowstorm or something like that, then yes, it's more cold when it's slushy and rainy and icy. But when it's just nice powder, nice layer of powder, that is ideal. It's not hot. I mean, excuse me, it's not cold. You could get away with that. And then, of course, you get this really cute bag to go with it. You can travel with it. It's got a ton of pockets, actually. I need to wash this because I got this at the event. So it's got food and stuff on it because it was in our VIP table area. Absolutely love it. It seems like it's actually waterproof too, which is amazing. You've got all your basic pockets and needs, including an area that you can put your laptop. Love it. And then, here it is. The star of the show as well. I don't want to put it on because I don't want my lube to get everywhere on it, but this snow cap, I mean, I am ready for winter. Oh, fall is my favorite season. Winter is right there with it. Amazing. Such great swag and merch. Thank you, Celsius. So I went to the launch event and it was super, super fun. But when it's something like this, where it's a super cool event, and I mean, there's guest DJs and all these cool people and everything like that, you're going to have a great time. And I go 0 to 100 then because there's probably 2 times a year I go 0 to 100. Other than that, like I'll have a couple drinks here and there if I'm doing something or like a little day drinking activity. But I don't go 0 to 100 where like I get bruises like I have. Woo, girl, just turning up. And that's exactly what I did. I don't remember the last time I danced so much in my life. It was the best time. I didn't see like it was one of those times where you don't even not recollect, but you don't you're the only person in the room. You're the only person in the room. You're dancing. I brought one of my gal pals, Michelle, with me, and we were just having a full blown gals night. You're not trying to go and talk, get a phone number or whatever it is, get up to mischief. You're literally just in your own world, dancing, enjoying the moment, being thankful and having a good time. And I never felt more welcome and taken care of. So Celsius is just near and dear to my heart. I love it. But yeah, it was there was some fun times. Actually came back in one piece. I only lost lip gloss That's it, which that's amazing. I didn't even lose my Canon G7X. Praise Jesus. I do want to thank the bouncer for just really taking care of us as well and making sure all of our stuff was in order. Pre-ordered Chipotle so that way I'd have something when I got home. That right there is not a rookie move right there. That is a pro move. But anytime I know I'm going to be having some drinks or, going out and about, I always ensure that I have something to come home to. And yeah, other than that, I just had a trail of things in my place everywhere. You know, you just, all your things are just left. And then you wake up the next day and you kind of have to like pick up the pieces. But it was super fun and I would redo it any other day. Now we're just going to go into blabbing about random stuff. And one of them being have had it up to here with the support chats, Q&A, the contacting support, reporting a problem, reporting a technical issue. I get it that we live in a world where IT is everything. And I also get it that we live in a world where we can subsidize by not having to pay an employee 24/7 to be support or pay employees to work a certain amount of days a week by using AI and chat robots. But I'm sorry, it's not doing the trick. It's not. It's just not doing the trick. I need to speak to somebody. And one thing that just gets my gears going and my blood pumping is when you go to a chat and you know it's a bot. Like you can tell the difference whether you're going to go and talk to a real human being or you're going to talk to a bot or you're going to talk to somebody that is halfway around the world that is reading just from a script and plugging and chugging that is not for nothing pointless. When they ask you the most basic situations that you've done, no, full blown knowing that you most likely have done them. I get it that not everybody in this world tech savvy. I get it that not everybody in this world is street smart or bright, and that there is a process of elimination that you have to do when it comes to rebooting, logging into your account, going to your settings, uh, checking whatever it is that you're looking at. Have you restarted? You get the drill. Here I go again with all the examples. But when I get asked one of those questions, did you sign into your account and look? Theodore, I checked. Yes, Theodore, I checked. I signed into my account and I looked. Thank you for asking that. I need help. Okay, great. Thank you, Jess. 1 second while I process this. So you said you need help. Here are 17 different article links that you can select from that could possibly, not actually, possibly be a solution for you, but they just happen to be in a completely different topic than what you're discussing. Oh, Theodore, I don't want to cuss. Gosh, there's so many things I could say right now. I am done with it. Please, for the love of God, stop. And if you are paying and investing in these robot chats and AI, get it done right. I loathe the idea that I just can't get to a human being that can be like, hey, you know what? I get that. Tell me what's going on. You tell me where you're at, and then let me get to that solution with you. Not having to go through 17 steps that are pointless that you've already done. And then you've not only wasted time, you're pissed off now, so you're not going to be nice. Okay, well, someone will get back to you in 24 to 365 days. No, I, give me an email. Give me an email and let them get, I will wait 24 hours. I'm okay with that. I'm not expecting instant gratification. That way, that first sentence, that first main paragraph that I say that explains everything that is the issue and what I'm going through and what I'm trying to resolve, input into a real brain, and then they can go, okay, the process of elimination, here it is. Thank you, Jess. Have a great day. Oh my gosh. Thank you. Thank you, human Alex, for helping me. I'm sure a lot of other people feel that way too. And then don't even get me started when you start to argue with the robot or the AI and then they try to tell you to calm down or something or that they're doing their best. You don't even know what your best is. You're not real. So, no, I'm not going to stop, Theodore. I'm pissed off at you because you don't have blood and you don't have a heart. I need solutions. I need to be able to have this done. I had it happen 3 separate times. And it just so happened that this was one of those weeks where you just had some IT stuff going on. And all 3 situations were robot. Well, I'm sorry, 2 of them were robot. One of them was human, but human plugging and chugging, and then tried to give me attitude, but you could tell they're plugging and chugging. It was me wanting to cancel an account. It's canceling basically a influencer platform that I don't use for commission stuff. And I used once. I used once years and years ago when I worked with Hero Cosmetics, and I don't use it. And so I don't need updates from it. I don't need to continue to do a W-9 form. I don't want my accounts linked to it. I don't want my bank account linked to it. I just don't want it at all. I've been asking and asking for them to delete the account. And every time the person that today, he said, we're going to have to open a ticket and an investigation to make sure that we can authorize to cancel the account. I literally said to him, like, are we saving the world? Are we under, did something happen? Are we under attack? Is this a government? It did some, are you the FBI? What? You have to start an investigation to cancel an account. Like, I haven't used it in years. There's no, oh, and then he said to me, well, just, so that there's outstanding money that is owed to you and blah, blah, blah. Sir, if there was outstanding money owed to me by a brand, trust me, I would be on that. There is nothing. Please delete my account. He had to open a ticket. I get the email ticket. He'll get back to me, blah, 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 blah. This is just a way for them to piss you off so much and get you riled up because there's so many processes that you just give up and then you're never going to follow up because you're annoyed. But no, no, no. I threatened. I said, you have 24 hours. If you want to play the whole investigation thing, let's do it. You have 24 hours. Sign off. Okay, that's it. I'm having heart palpitations. All right, I think it's time to end this one. I think everyone's gotten it, but yeah, don't come for me with those things. I'm done. I'm done. Spend a little extra money, invest in a real human being. You can do it because if you're spending the money on the AI and you're spending the money on the robots, spend the money on somebody that can have a job. That's that.